Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to technical session 9C. Myself, Karthik Bharadwaj, and this session would be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GR Solistic LLP, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to the 10th International Conference on Smart Trends in Computing and Communication, SMARTCOM 2026, Pune, India. The 10th edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event is held today in Pune, India, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom from 19 to 21st of January 2026. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive session throughout the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations. Each presenter will be given 10 minutes for their presentation and 2 minutes for question answer. On 9 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder, and everyone is requested to kindly adhere to the timelines. There is another request to everyone that you all stay connected with us till the closing remark. If you have any query or doubt or update, you can write it to me in the chat box. So let's start with today's first presentation. For the first presentation, I like to call presenter V. Sahiti for the paper title A Novel Deep Learning Approach to Predict the Disease in Tomato Leaf with Bounding Box. I request the presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Saivardhan Babu. I am the corresponding author of the paper Novel Deep Learning Approach to Predict Tomato Leaf Diseases. I'm here to present the paper on behalf of V. Sahiti ma'am.
Okay, no problem. You can continue, sir.
Can I share my screen?
Yes, sir, you can continue.
Yes, sir. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir, your screen is visible to us.
Okay. Good afternoon, sir. Once again, I'm Saivardhan Babu. I'm here to present our research work on the title A Novel Deep Learning Approach to Predict Tomato Leaf Diseases using a YOLO V8M model. So I'm the corresponding author, and our author is V. Sahiti Yelanki ma'am. So coming to the problem statement of our project. So, tomato cultivation is plays a really pivotal role in our Indian agricultural productivity, especially in the case of India. So, but at the same time, tomato is very highly susceptible to different kind of diseases. That is, to be precise, around 200 diseases. It is prone to more than 200 types of diseases. So, but manual inspection can lead to a lot of human errors, and also it is a time consuming process. So the need of the hour is to build a good deep learning model based on precision agricultural techniques to identify the tomato diseases, and also the localization of bounding boxes of high intensity diseases. Coming to the objectives of our work, uh, we have classified the diseases into five different categories. We want to effectively detect the leaf disease on the tomato leaf. And to be precise, the we are also taking into consideration the high intensity disease on the tomato leaf. So our work is not only to classify the disease, but also to localize the infected regions using the bounding boxes. So this we also wanted to achieve a high accuracy and high real-time accuracy. So we have chosen the YOLO V8 medium-sized model for this purpose. So based on our literature survey, we have gone through different papers, which where we have understood that there were different CNN-based models, which were primarily binary classification models. That is, they when we upload an image of a tomato leaf, so they tell whether the image is infected, the leaf is infected or healthy. But there is no particular model which is trained to detect multiple diseases on a single leaf. So there are even other methods like SSD, which is single shot detection, which can be used to accurately calculate the bonding box on a tomato leaf. But it doesn't give a real-time accuracy of more than 90%, which is designed. So after researching different YOLO models, we have finally come to a conclusion to go with the YOLO version 8, that is medium-sized model. So this model gave us really a good accuracy and precision level details or to accurately classify the leaf into five different categories. So coming to the system architecture of our work, so there are two different phases. So in the training phase, we have picked up a raw image data set of five different classes, four disease class and one healthy class. And every image in our data set is labeled with a annotation which is supported by the YOLO. So every image has a corresponding bounding box coordinates, which helps the model to efficiently get trained by learning from the pre-processed data set. The data set is split on the basis of 70, 20, and 10, which is 70 for training, 20 for validation, and 10 for testing purposes. And after the data processing and augmentation, we have trained the YOLO V8M model with several different parameters of considering different batch sizes. Like we have considered the batch size of 16 and used the optimizer SGD, that is so a stochastic gradient descent. And we have evaluated the performance of the model by taking into consideration mean average precision, that is MAP. So coming to the online deployment phase, we have deployed the backend deep learning YOLO model with React.js interface to provide a good user interface for the user, which is easily understandable and can a user can upload the leaf image and get the predictions along with the bounding box localization. So coming to the dataset description, the dataset consists around 5,114 annotated tomato leaf images categorized into five different categories. One is the healthy class and four disease classes: bacterial spot, early blight, late blight, and powdery mildew. Each class approximately consists of 1,000 images, which ensures a great balance between all the different classes. So the data set is split into training and validation and also test splits, which I have mentioned previously. Coming to the YOLO V8M architecture, it consists of three different layers, that is backbone, neck, and head. It consists of around 255 layers in total, which includes cross-convolution layers, CNNs, and SBFF layers. Sorry. The backbone consists of CSP darknet, which is used for feature extraction, and the neck is used for feature aggregation, and head is for prediction and bounding box localization. Coming to the performance, we have used mean average precision, which is the mean of all the precision values that we have calculated across all the different classes. Sorry. We have achieved a training accuracy of 99.2% for the confidence score of 0 0.5. And for the confidence score of 0 0.5 to 0.95, we have achieved a training accuracy of 92.7 and validation accuracy of 87.03. Now, concluding our research work, we have proposed this YOLO V8M model to effectively classify the diseases along with bonding boxes. So this high MAP scores in both training and validation demonstrate a strong generalization, and there is no scope for a lot of overfitting. So, and this model uh, can also be in future. There can be works with mobile or edge devices for real-time field applications, and we we can extend this work to multiple crops, not limiting it only to the tomato leaves. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now we will be moving towards the next presentation. For the next presentation, I like to call presenter Sai for the paper title A Study of an EOQ Ordering Policy for Two Parameter Variable Distributed Deteriorated Items Varying with Exponentially Declining Demand Allowing Partially Backlogged Shortages. I request the presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation. Ma'am, now you can.
Sir, is my screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am, your screen is visible to us. You can proceed.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. So, I am Sai Jagyashini Rana, uh, a, a research scholar of Department of Mathematics, C.B. Raman Global University. And today my presentation topic is a study of an EOQ ordering policy for two parameters, variable distributed deteriorated items varying with exponentially declining demand, allowing partially backlogged shortages. These are my contents. Then first is objective. So in objective 4, in deteriorating inventory system, like there are situation in which it is not always wise to consider the constant iteration rate and the constant demand pattern and no shortages. So in this paper models such a situation by considering deterioration rate is a special form of variable density function and demand pattern is time dependent exponentially declining function of time for allowing partially backload shortages. So we have provided the necessary and sufficient condition for this work, and furthermore shortages time point like replacement cycle and total cost function have been determined by using a simple solution, and the all the graphs is and all the graphs is proceeded by Mathematica software. And finally a numerical example, such a numerical examples and its sensitivity analysis on several system parameters are provided to illustrate the proposed model. So these are my assumptions. First is the proposed is relates only one type of item, and the items of the proposed inventory system follow the two parameter, that is variable density function. So the demand pattern for the items is deterministic and time dependent exponentially declining. Then the replacement occurs instantaneously and its rate is finite. The time horizon in the system is infinite, and all the unit cost components of the system such as ordering cost, holding cost, iteration cost, and shortages cost are taken as positive constant. These are some of my notations which we use for our work. Then is mathematical model. So at the start, a load size of max is max units of items enter into the prescribed inventory system at the initial time t equal to 0. Later, the inventory system or inventory level diminishes gradually at the rates of time varying deterioration and exponentially decline demand during the interval 0 to tb and becomes 0 at the time t equal to tb. That is the graph of this initial work. Then, because of the varying deterioration and exponential declining demand rate, the instantaneous inventory level satisfy the following differential equation. That is, we take the differential equation, that is dit with respect to dt theta t I of t equal to minus dt, where t is in the interval 0 to tb, where we take the theta, the value of the theta we take here. And after that, by finding this is a linear differential equation. So we have to find in the integrating factor. After we find out the integrating factor, we put this value and find the equation, that is I of t in the equation number 4. So by omitting the higher terms, we find out this equation. Then equation 4 with boundary condition, here we put I of 0 equal to S max and find this S max equation, that is equation number 5. After that, we find out each of the cost. First is here we find out ordering cost, then holding cost, then we put the formula of holding cost, that is CH equal to S0 to TB I of T dt. So then after that, we similarly find out the deterioration cost. Then we find out the deterioration cost and shortages cost. After the find outing the shortages cost, the computation of the average total cost function TC TBT of the proposed system is obtained from the ratio of the sum of all the cost with respect to the time, that is TC T of B T equal to 1 by T C0, that is ordering cost CH CD CS. and and from this and from this formula we find out some necessary condition for minimizing of the cost function. After that, we find out the value like this. The second order partial derivatives for checking the sufficient condition is this much. Then what about the result, whatever the equation we find out? So we have to put all the value, all the function in a simple algorithm, and the algorithm is the following step-by-step procedure is adopted for the computation of TB star, T star, TC, TB star, and T star. So step 1, we have to input the value of all the system parameters. In step 2, compute TB and T from the simultaneously non-linear equation in 11 and 12. And similarly, we put the value and find out the result. Then we take a numerical example here. Let the system parameters with proper units are alpha is 0.02, beta, gamma, K0, H, and CD, C0. All the value, all the parameter here we take and put the all the and we put the all the parameters in the necessary condition and to find out the optimal solution, that is TB equal to T star and T equal to T star. So here is my conclusion, that is in this study an optimal EOQ inventory model for deteriorating inventory item has been framed by the minimizing the total relevant cost under the decision variables a shortages time point and cycle length in which two parameter variable distribution deterioration rate, time dependent exponentially declining demand rate, and partially backlog shortages are considered. The proposed model is more realistic for the seasonal product like seasonal items like agricultural product then medicines, drugs, etc., and also newly launched items like fashion, apparel, cosmetic, electronics, and all the automobiles. The deterioration rate of such item follow the special type of the two parameter variable distribution deterioration. So the proposed model is also well explained with the help of a numerical example, which we already shown in the slide. At the end, sensitivity analysis on the optimal solution from one of the selected example has been performed here. These are my references. Thank you all the members of SMARTCOM.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a wonderful presentation. Now we will be moving towards the next presentation. For the next presentation, I like to invite presenter Pooja Tiwari for the paper title A Study on AI-Enabled Customer Engagement Through Journey Mapping. I request the presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, you can continue with the presentation.
Yeah, sure. Uh, is my presentation is visible? My slides are visible?
Not yet, ma'am.
Now is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So, my name is Pooja Tiwari, and today I'm here to present a study on how AI can enhance customer engagement through journey mapping. Uh, my co-authors are Dr. Arunakshu Giri, Dipannita Chakravarti, Shamba Chatterjee, and Solanki Patnaik. Um, Now, today I'm going to discuss that like we all know that consumer shopping purchase behavior and all, but how AI is involved in it and how AI improves the engagement part of it. Now, coming to the retail industry of Indian retail industry, it is massive and it is mostly driven by rising incomes, urbanization, and digital adoption. Now, when we talk about digital adoption, it is not only about adopting new technology or software. Now we are in the era of AI, which is like everywhere, be in the education sector or in the healthcare sector or IT sector, it is everywhere. So likewise, when we talk about consumer purchase behavior, AI is also helpful in different manner. Like for example, it is very much helpful in prediction of consumer taste, their consumer journey, the entire we can with the help of AI we can map the entire consumer shopping journey. It is pretty much helpful in understanding the consumer behavior, right? And AI, since it is, as we all know, that it is pretty much helpful in collecting and storing data, and all these stored data can be utilized in understanding ultimately the consumer behavior. It also gives the competitive advantage to all the organization, to all the brands, to all the retail, exclusive retail out there, right? Now when we talk about customer experience, it is nothing but the communication between a customer and a brand, and with that interaction, how the customer perceive, what perception they have formed about that brand or about that organization. Based on that interaction, that is nothing but your customer experience. And if the customer experience is good, it is likely that the customer will be engaged in that process, which means that the customer will could be a source of word of mouth. He or she could be a loyal customer. It is also helpful in building relationship with your clients, with your customer, and of course it is very likely that they will purchase the same brand, the same product again and again. So with the AI, this can be enhanced, this can be improvised. Now, the objective of our study is to examine the to examine the different stages of consumer decision making process through the consumer journey mapping, and to develop a comprehensive theoretical framework that explains consumer decision making in relation to their journey across various touch points. Moving on to the LR part. Now, customer shopping experience is majorly driven by two value, which are utilitarian value and hedonic value. What are these? Now utilitarian value, now whenever we shop, our main agenda is to fulfill our need, right? So as a customer, we also find that what is the utility, what is the functional benefit of this particular product. We try to find the logic behind it, right? Why we are purchasing this product. At the same time, once we bought that product, we also try to feel satisfied with our purchase. That is the emotional part of our psychology. That is basically called your hedonic value. So both the value is important while we are making decisions, while customers are making decisions. And decision making process is not a very easy thing. It's a multi-stage cognitive process, and not only I would say cognitive, but it is also a psychological sentiment is also involved while we are purchasing. Now while we are purchasing, there are a hell lot of sorry my word, but there are different types of stages. Like for example, we need to identify our need, we need to identify the different products which are available, what are the different alternatives available, and then finally we move on to the purchasing decision. And the last part is what is our post purchase experience. If the experience is good, we would likely to engage further with that brand, with that organization in future, and as well as we will do our positive word of mouth as well. These are our hypotheses. We have developed 4 hypotheses through this extensive literature review. This is the research model wherein we have shown 3 points. First is pre-purchase point, wherein utilitarian and hedonic value is involved. The second one is purchase point, which is decision making. And the last one is post-purchase point, which shows the customer experience. So we would like to try, or we would like to find out whether our pre-purchase expectation met with the post-purchase experience or not. If they have met, we would likely to engage, the customer would likely to engage in future as well. Coming to the research methodology part, we have adopted a descriptive research design. Both primary and secondary data was used for this study, and we have conducted this study in the month of November 2024, and it continued till 2025 Jan. We have utilized 5-point Likert scale for this, and the convenience sampling has been utilized for this particular study. This is the demographic profile. These are the validity and reliability test. All the values are within the range. These are the 4 hypotheses. All are accepted because as the values you can see, all are within the range. Now coming to the discussion part. Now, as we have discussed, we have established 4 hypotheses. All are accepted in this particular study. The study shows, or I would say acknowledge, the importance of utilitarian and hedonic value in consumer decision making. Moreover, it also emphasizes the decision making process because AI was involved in it. Now, how, if you can ask, the AI technology enhances customer interaction with the brand by creating personalized engagement points throughout the customer journey. When we talk about the touch points, we talk about, basically we mean to say that when we came across any brand's ad, or when we interact with a sales representative of that particular brand, all will be considered as a direct and indirect touch points. Now that can be mapped through AI technology. It is very much helpful, especially when somebody is having a very good experience with a particular brand. Now AI can continuously, the customized notification will be sent to that particular customer, so that this customer will, you can say, spread positive word of mouth to their society, to their friends. It can also be helpful in social media, spreading word of mouth spreading. So AI, you can say, AI can help consumer to get notification, and it is also helpful for those retailers to get the proper information about consumer taste, their preferences, or you can say their changing taste, their changing trends. So that can also be identified. So in the supply chain, whether it is a manufacturer, retailer, whether it's a anyone, whether it is a distributor, they all get benefited with this AI introduction in this entire supply chain. Coming to the implication part, it highlights the AI implementation in consumer decision-making process. You can say that here in this study, what we have seen, a smart decision can lead to a better post-purchase experience, which ultimately in turn can enhance the customer engagement with the brand. And AI is excellent in establishing customized communication with the customer in real time, which compels customer to track notification continuously, which becomes engaging as well for them. Now, as we all know, customer engagement is crucial for the brand to sustain in the market and to establish their image in the market. Very much crucial. So that's how it is creating utility for the brand. The utilitarian and hedonic value, which we have discussed in pre-purchase point, they also helps in converting the satisfied customer as a loyal customer. And through this, with the help of AI, it becomes very helpful for the brand to retain their customers and also to create a competitive advantage over their competitors as well. So these are few implications. Coming to the limitations part, yes, of course, like any other study, we do have also limitations in our study. First of all, this study has it has a general customer behavior without concentrating any particular industry. At the same time, if the research scopes could be in different retail segments like any luxury or premium product or FMCG product, this side has not been explored in this particular study. Coming to the future scope of research, yes, a longitudinal study can be carried out because within these 3 months, it is very difficult to analyze the correct picture. So, if any longitudinal study can be carried out, the result could be different. And the respondents also, since we have utilized the convenience sampling, so if we can, collect the respondents or go for the respondents from different countries, so we can evaluate the different aspects like the effect of culture on consumer purchase decision after implementation of AI, that can also be done. So, coming to the conclusion part, in this particular study, it has shown that how AI is significant in mapping consumer purchase journey, starting from the pre-purchase point to post-purchase point, and how it is improving or helping the consumer engagement process. And both the cognitive and emotional need of the consumer, which is hedonic and this utilitarian value of the consumer, can be effectively fulfilled the implementation of AI in the consumer touch point. These are few references of this study. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I request our respected session chair, sir. Sir, do you have any questions?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir,
Yes.
you're
Hello,
audible to
sir.
us.
Yeah, so this was a very good presentation. So, how you have validated your results? Can you tell us?
Sorry, sir.
How you have been validating your entire results? Can you tell us?
Yes, sir. So we
Validation is
have
very much required. So you have to do some validations for your results at the end. So how you have validated that thing?
Sir, this has been done by one of my co-author who is looking into the RM part. So we have tested our data and we have run the reliability and validity test. So reliability test has been done so that we can know that the results are constant. The repeated results should be there, and validation test is important because we need to know that how accurate our data is, what we are expecting, how accurate this validity testing is. So this is the value which we have got from our test, reliability and validity test. Sir,
Okay,
your
and
voice is
what
not.
are the future extension of your research?
Sir, future scope is basically we can go to, since I've done convenience sampling, so we can go for different states, different countries in order to analyze the impact of different culture in mapping the consumer behavior, understanding the consumer behavior. That can be done. We can also go for different specific industries in order to understand whether the consumer behavior changes with the different industries like IT industry or healthcare industry. So that can also be done for our future research. So
Okay, fine. Thank you.
thank you so much, sir.
Leaves you all with today's
Move on.
Dr. Akhilesh Kumar Sharma. Akhilesh Kumar Sharma ji is a professor and head of at Manipal University, Jaipur, India, with over 18 years of rich extensively in international and national journal and conferences. His research interest includes big data analytics, deep learning classification, and clustering methods, data mining, machine learning, and cognitive intelligence. Sir, kindly address our participants.
Yeah, thank you for such a nice introduction. Yeah, we can proceed further for the next presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Now we'll be moving forward for the next presentation. For the next presentation, I like to call presenter Usha for the paper title Cloud ERP Implementation Success, an empirical study of migrant to kindly proceed with their presentation.
Good afternoon, one and all. Is my presentation visible?
Yes, ma'am, your presentation is visible.
Okay. Respected session chair, panel members, and delegates, very good evening to all. I'm Usha JC, Assistant Professor in MS Ramaya University of Applied Sciences. Today, I'm pleased to present a paper titled Cloud ERP Implementation Success, an empirical study on migration, integration and adoption challenges. The study is co-authored with Mr. Janardhan PC, is an Oracle consultant at LTI Mindtree, Bangalore. In Indian ERP software market is experiencing a rapid growth valued at USD $2.8 billion in 2023, and it is projected to reach around 7.8 billion USD by 2030 with a CAGR of 15.8%. The growth is driven by digital transformation initiatives and advancement in cloud infrastructure, as well as increasing demand for scalable enterprise systems. Medium and large organizations are shifting from on-premise ERP to cloud ERP to improve their flexibility, data accessibility, as well as customization. However, despite these advantages, ERP implementation continue to face serious problems related to migration, integration, and user adoption. So, while cloud ERP offers the scalability and cost efficiency, organizations are facing issues like data migration bottlenecks and legacy system incompatibility, integration issues across multiple systems, and user resistance, skill gaps, all these. These challenges often lead to delay in the cost overruns and reduces the system performance, as well as it is making ERP success very uncertain. So let's move on to the literature background. I have considered two theories as a base for my study. That is, first one is technology or organization environment framework, which explains the ERP adoption through technological readiness, organizational capability, and environmental pressure. The second theory what I used is diffusion innovation theory, which focuses on adoption behavior influenced by relative advantages, complexity, and ease of use and trialability. Both theories explain how technically and behavioral aspects of cloud ERP implementation can be performed. And when we see the literature background, most of the literature highlighted on ERP success, ERP success depends upon the alignment between the business processes and system capability. And few literature also focused on user resistance and which is influenced by pursued usefulness and limited IT skills. And few literatures focused mainly on the data security, vendor lock-ins, and compliances, which strongly affected the ERP decision implementation. And migration complexity and API limitations often cause these implementation delays are also been noted by the few literatures. And most of the studies examine these challenges individually, not holistically. So the research gap, what is identified is that existing studies provide the limited empirical evidence on the practical implementation of these challenges, as well as migration, integration, and adoption challenges are often studied in isolation. Not There is a lack of unified and evidence-based model explaining end-to-end cloud ERP implementation success. Therefore, the study try to address the gap of examining the combined effect of migration, integration, and adoption barriers. So this is my conceptual model. So it considers all the three types of challenges, how it is impacting the successful ERP implementation. The methodology which is used, the primary data, a quantitative approach is been used, and the data is collected from the using the structured questionnaire. Respondents include system analysts, IT managers, ERP users, and the project stakeholders. And the questionnaire, mostly the questions were 5-point Likert scale is used in the questionnaire, and purposive sampling is used for used for selecting the participant with the who had a direct cloud ERP implementation experience, and total of 54 informed respondents were participated. The data analysis is included the descriptive statistic analysis, EFA, explanatory factor analysis, and hierarchical regression analysis. Then as a first step, the measurement model was showing a strong reliability and validity. All the factor loadings were above 0.7. The Cronbach alpha values were ranging from 0.84 to 89, which confirms the strong internal consistency and the construct reliability of the questionnaire, of the constructs. When we move on to the results, we use the hierarchical regression method, which showed that migration challenges explained around 19% of the variance in the ERP success, and integration challenges further increase the explanatory power by adding 11%, and user adoption barriers added up to 9% of additional variance, resulting in the total explained variance reaching up to 39%. Results were confirmed through layered influence of technical and human factors of cloud ERP success. So overall, the model explained around 39% of the total variance, confirming that combined influence of the technical and human factors on the ERP implementation. So these are the results of hierarchical regression model. So when we discuss about the results and key observation, resistance to change is emerged as the strongest predictor of ERP failure implementation, and it is a biggest roadblock for the ERP implementation. Then integration issues such as data alignment and interoperability significantly constrain the success, and data governance maturity is significantly moderated as moderated the migration challenges. It means that if at all the data governance maturity is low, the migration, the other challenges are also created more problem in ERP implementation and success of ERP implementation. And wherever data maturity was high, it has reduced the negative impact of other challenges. So to conclude, the migration, integration, as well as adoption challenges significantly had a negative effect on the successful implementation of ERP, and user adoption barriers, especially resistance to change, are the most critical among all the among all the challenges. And technical readiness alone is not sufficient. It means that even the the successful cloud ERP implementation requires strong data governance, structured training programs, and proactive change in the management strategies. So, uh, if you see the from the managerial implications, organization must balance technical planning as well as human readiness, and investment in training and governance are as important as the system migration. And the limitations of the study is like this study includes only uh, a few people who had a exposure, like the sample size is very small, so it can be extended. And even the this most of the uh, uh, respondents who had the experience in the large like medium to large scale organization, in the case large scale organizations are used for implementation. So even SME also we can see how what are the other challenges faced. And emerging technologies like as a future scope, emerging technologies such as AI enabled ERP, low code platforms, and hybrid architecture can be explored. So these are my key references, and I'm open for the questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request our respected session chair, sir. Sir, do you have any questions? Since sir is having no questions, let's move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now for the next presentation, I like to call presenter BB Sabrina for the paper title Energy Efficient Federated SVM Learning Framework for Edge Devices. I request the presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Myself, Shabarinath. I am here to present my paper ID 496 titled Energy Efficient Federated SPM Learning Framework for Edge Devices, authored by myself, Dr. Shabarinath, Assistant Professor of VNR VJIT, and guided by my Professor Muralidhar sir from NIT Warangal. So this is the contents I am going to present. So coming to the introduction about federated learning. So training a high quality machine learning model requires massive data, which is likely to be distributed across different institutions or companies in the real world. However, the increasing concern about data privacy and emerging regulations and lawsuits restrict this data from being collected together in one place for centralized training. Hence, to solve this problem, authors have proposed federated learning. Researchers have proposed federated learning has been proposed to enable distributed learning among these data silos by performing local computation within a data silo and securely aggregating the intermediate results. So in this case, to generate a global model without revealing any original data to the outside world. So without sharing the data, we could able to train the model with multiple sources. So this is a core concept of federated learning. So in this case, so coming to the introduction about hardware acceleration. So basically, federated learning is now considered as a critical method for breaking down data silos in distributed training scenario. However, it can significantly increase computation time, limiting its large scale deployment. Also, high computation cost. So mainly here, the key problem is software only federated learning is slow and power hungry on edge devices. Hence, there are FPGAs are promising solution for accelerating this machine learning task at the edge. So coming to this terminological things, so federated learning basically has a clients and servers where the model, each client has its own data. So where the model training happens at the client, which the model generated by clients, we call it as a local model. So these local models are distributed to the server or aggregator. So the aggregator, by combining all this local model, it develops a global model. So this will be happening in a iterative manner, such that we get a convergence after a certain number of epochs. So this is the kind of so basically the workflow involves server initiates the global model, so clients trains locally, then client send updates, so finally server aggregates. So this will be repeated throughout till the convergence. So why SVM is preferred? Basically, support vector machine is a strong theoretical guarantee, so which is effective for medium to small data sets. It's suitable for classification in edge devices. However, the key challenge is that the SVM training is a convex optimization problem, which involves huge computation like kernel computation and quadratic optimization. So this is the thing. So finally, coming to the literature review, for this we have focused on federated learning techniques for SVM training. So basically in the literature, there are two important proposed methods. So based on this SVM for federated learning, one is authorized by Zhou and Wang et al. Their proposed technique is called FedK-SVM. So where they used linear SVMs on approximated kernels using random Fourier features, but they implemented on CPU. So but the main limitation is insufficient resources to run extensive training epochs. Their convergence speed slows significantly. Similarly, the another author titled Wang M et al. Proposed a turbo SVM-FL, enhance federated convergence by leveraging server-side SVM-based selective aggregation. Also, they have implemented on the CPU platform, depending on conventional software running on client computers. So, however, the current implementations of federated SVM methods rely on the standard CPUs for edge device execution, resulting in slower convergence and higher energy consumption. So hence we have come up with a problem statement to develop an integrated solution that combines federated learning with FPGA accelerated SVM training to achieve energy efficient multi-class classification on edge devices without compromising accuracy. So coming to our contributions, we have developed a parallel fixed point version of the SVM training algorithms called sequential minimal optimization is developed to reduce off-chip memory usage while enhancing the data flow throughput. Coming to the second contribution, the OVR multi-class decomposition is integrated with a federated protocol that manages class imbalance through adaptive weighted aggregation. So proposed federated learning is implemented on the JetSU 104 FPGA development platform, achieving 200 kilo iterations per second throughput with a round latency of about 100 milliseconds. The proposed system achieves 100 to almost 100x speedups and delivers significant orders of magnitude of energy efficiency gains over the CPU-based federated SVM while examining its compatibility with FedK-SVM and Turbo-SVM FL algorithms. So this is the proposed method. This is a system architecture where we have the edge clients. We used FPGA device. Similarly, the aggregator is also an FPGA device. So coming to the system architecture, we have a client's edge devices with hardware accelerator. Server acts as an aggregator which gives a global SVM update. So devices connect through Ethernet to support the periodic transmission of model updates. So here the key idea of this proposed method is that offloading the SVM computation to the dedicated hardware blocks. So coming to the proposed methodology, so here we have the number of clients equal to K, number of classes C, and number of communication rounds T, and local steps D. So starting after initialization, we start with number of communication routes. In each communication routes, so the global model is updated by the server to the clients. So for each client, this global model is taken. It is loaded into the FPGA accelerator for its computation. So this training is run till the number of local steps. So once the training is done, the local model will be updated. So this local model will be sent to the coordinator. So these are for all the clients where where K is the number of clients. So once we have all the models once updated to the global server, the parameters will be updated, and this process will be repeated till the convergence or till the number of local steps initialized by the user. So once this is done, the final global model can be used can be used as a model for our classification purpose. So in this case, the SVM training using a sequential minimal optimization is performed using this algorithm. This is the SMO solver for SVM training, where we have a initial model parameters initialized. So here we have a Lagrange multipliers and bias initialized to 0, and we have this error updates. So here these algorithms continue till the convergence criteria is met. So in each iteration, it performs it picks up the two training vectors which are violating the Karash-Kantakar conditions. So based on this updates, it computes the kernel values. Once this is done, it computes the error and updates the Lagrange multipliers. So finally, also it updates the errors. So this process is repeated until the convergence is reached. So this is basically the SMO solver. So this SMO solver has been parallelized in the FPGA. So coming to the experimental results, so we have used 4 data sets like MNIST, CIFAR10, IoT intrusion detection dataset, as well as we have created a non-IID version of MNIST partition. So you can see here, this is a non-IID partition dataset which we have created. So finally, each federated simulation runs on 4 edge devices where local models are trained using FPGA overlay with 16 we have used 16-bit fixed point precision before contributing to a global model. So we have tried almost 10 communication rounds for our setup. So we have achieved accuracy for each of this, and we have also achieved a resource FPGA resource utilization of this much percent. So also we have achieved a performance metrics throughput, latency, power, and energy per sample. So these are the different metrics estimated for our experiment. So finally, we have compared our model with the existing Fed SVM model. So you can see here on the x-axis the communication number of communication rounds, on the y-axis the accuracy. So you can see that our model performed very fast without compromising the accuracy when compared to the baseline Fed SVM model. Also, our model has an advantage of low energy efficiency, which is the parameter not yet considered. So energy also very much important factor for this SVM training on federated learning training, so which has not been explored so far. So this is the main advantage of our proposed method. So in conclusion, the proposed work introduced a unique federated learning framework which allows multi-class SVM training on edge devices using FPGA acceleration. So basically, we transform a leading edge FPGA-based SVM training technique into distributed model that enables multiple devices to collaboratively train a global model while keeping the raw data private. Our method outperforms the CPU-based federated baseline significantly in terms of speed and energy efficiency. So the main factor is here the speed and energy efficiency without compromising the accuracy. That is our main intention. So this can be finally in the future scope. We would like to integrate for this proposed technique with a privacy compliance. So we need to include a security ability to securely defend this security attacks. So this is what we like to integrate with this model in the future. So these are the references. Thank you, sir. Any queries?
Thank you, sir. Now I request our respected session chair, sir. Sir, do you have any questions? Okay, sir is having no queries. Let's move towards the next presentation. For the next presentation, I like to call presenter Sharanya for the paper title Hydronet Automated Water Pollution Control. I request the presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation. I request the presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation. Okay. Moving to the next presentation. For the next presentation, I like to call the presenter N. Sandhya for the paper title Real-Time Object Detection with Multilingual Translation for Inclusive Learning. I request the presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation.
Good afternoon. I'm Gauri, corresponding author for this paper. I'll be presenting on behalf of Sandhya ma'am.
No problem, ma'am. You can continue. Thank you.
Okay. Let me know once my screen is visible.
Now it's loading. Yeah, ma'am. Now it is visible. You can continue.
Yes. Good afternoon to one and all. I firstly like to thank you all for this opportunity to present our project. Myself, Gauri Chandana, and I have co-authored this paper along with Sandhya, Dr. Sandhya and Sahiti ma'am. So this is our agenda for today. I'll be going over abstract, introduction, objective, concluding Next with literature review, methodology, architecture, and concluding with result and conclusion. Many of us have often dreamed about studying abroad or studying in countries with different cultures and also engaging with multiple different opportunities. And one of the problem that comes to moving to different countries is the language barrier. We need something that allows us to study a new language without taking much of our resources and also being super inexpensive. This project presents an interactive visual learning app which is built using computer vision and natural language processing. We have tested multiple object detection models to select one model which is very apt for this situation. Language learning can be a hobby or a necessity to many students. For example, if you want to do a master's or a PhD in Germany, you will have to know German. For them, not everyone has the access to resources or access to expensive materials, which is why we have built this app to be inclusive and also accessible. Problem, like I've said, language barriers which restrict access to global opportunities. Existing tools are very text heavy and resource intensive. Not everyone has the computation power to run multiple apps or multiple resources. Real life, there is the current resources which we have lack the connection between visual experiences and language learning. And next, limited accessibility. Not everyone has the access to purchase materials. So our objective is to design a system that detects objects from live video and translate their labels into user selected languages. We have to provide multiple languages which can expand the scope of this project. Ensure that what our project is accessible and inclusive, that anyone with any sort of device can use our project. Literature review, we focused on object detection first. We looked into multiple model families, YOLO family, and also transformer-based families. So from these, we compared multiple models and decided to select one, which is great. Next, for language translation, we decided to go with Google API, which is fast and also very reliant. And we have also looked into multiple papers where such similar applications were done. There were multiple papers where it was shown that visual learning is always better than textual based learning. Methodology, first thing, comparative analysis between multiple models to choose one. Next, select a suitable dataset. We went with COCO dataset by Microsoft, where there are multiple 80 plus object classes, which diversifies the learning. Next, translation model, we want something that is very lightweight and also easy to use. Similarly, we went with Google package, GTTS package from Python, which also gives us our speech output. Build a very simple interface that is accessible to anyone, and evaluation. So for model selection, firstly, like I said, we went through multiple lightweight models. We tested YOLO 11 Nano, YOLO 11 Small, and RTDETR. So between them, we compare the precision, recall, and mean average precision. So like you can see here, RTDETR, which is a transformer-based model, has a slightly higher percentage under the same amount of resources. Again, this was done through a local machine without no GPU. So you can see YOLO 11 Nano, which is the smallest model of them all, has very low recall and an average precision. But RTDETR was very good. For exact values, you can check here. RTDETR has outperformed these two models with our particular use case using COCO dataset. This is our architecture. The user will be standing in front of the camera with an object in their hand, or they can point the camera to an object. From the camera, we are taking the live feed of the object through the user interface. The user interface has multiple options where you can select the language and select what kind of pronunciation you're expecting. And also This is the application. The input is picture of the object. The live feed is cut into frames and it is fed to the object detection model. The object detection model outputs the name of the object. For example, I'm holding a water bottle. It is going to say water bottle. And then text to speech. Now, this is where actual learning happens. For example, if I want to know what a water bottle is called in French, it will show the name in French and also give me the pronunciation. Owing to, in the interest of time, I have pasted a picture of our user interface. It is very simple. There's only play and stop. Play will allow the user to start their live camera feed. You can see here, we have selected this language Spanish and we placed a cup in front of the camera. We can see that what the cup is called in Spanish and also there is a small audio. Now this audio will allow us to learn how exactly the cup is pronounced in Spanish. Similarly, dining table. What I am concluding with this paper is that in this particular scenario with COCO dataset where there are multiple number of classes, RTDETR is outperforming. We need something that is a low resource for something to be accessible, which is why we have went with RTDETR. Integration of already existing models and technologies. Using this, we can create a project that is useful for everyone. We are also demonstrating the potential of AI to bridge language barriers and also support education. This is a very simple project that can be implemented by anyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request our respected session chair, sir. Sir, do you have any questions? Okay, moving forward for the next presentation.
Thank you.
The next presentation, I like to call presenter Papan for the paper title Sentiment Analysis of Bengali English Code Mixed Text Using Transformer-Based Models. I request the presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation.
Good afternoon from Bangladesh. So I can't share my screen. Okay, I can.
Now you can proceed, sir.
Is my sound okay?
Yes, sir. You are perfectly audible and your screen is visible to us.
Okay. So good afternoon from Bangladesh. I'm a graduate student from Chittagong University. Actually, my paper is actually sentiment analysis of Bengali English code mistakes using transformer-based models. So actually, in this paper, I try to analyze the transformer model, how I can apply transformer model for sentiment of Bengali English code mixed text. So actually, the motivation behind of my study is actually 60% of Bengali social media users use Bengali mixed text in their daily life social communication. So if I find the sentiment, then it will be a significant work. This is the actual motivation of my work. So here I use a dataset, which is 20,000 sample with 4 centimeter level. So I would like to give some basic information about my dataset. So in my dataset have a 4 centimeter level. So I mentioned some sample of my dataset. So like street food, Bengali English. So in Bengali, we like say street food আমার খুব অনেক ভালো লাগে so actually as a Bangladeshi when we talk something like that so use Bengali English mixed text so this is the sample positive sentence and there have another negative sentence like movichar fasal bhalo lage nai so this is a negative word this means movie is not good so actually, this is the simple sentence. So from my dataset, so there are 4 classes in my dataset. So for positive, negative, and neutral and mixed. So this is so more. So this is here is the sample ratio in my dataset. Here is the total 20,000 sample with 4 centimeter level. Positive is the 27%, neutral is 37%, and negative 25%. And rest of the data are mixed. Mixed mean positive, negative in both. So here's the table. Actually, before going to the actual presentation of the my research, I would like to analyze some of the data set, relevant data set for my study. So here I can see that Hindi, Bengali, Tamil, and different of mixed language data set I analyze. And here is the another data set. This is Panson mix. I collected this data set from a paper. So just a minute. So in this dataset, my dataset have a 4 centimeter level. Then data sources is 3. Like I collected data Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So and here is some basic information about my dataset, and I describe some of the relevant dataset where I study for this research. So here's the research gap. So to be a good researcher, you have to be analyzing the relevant research for your paper. So in these cases, I use some of the relevant research. So like uh, here, I mentioned some of the research and their limitation and the method they used. So here I mentioned the 6 research like Hindi English, Tamil English, Bengali English, and there is some research happened in earlier some years. So a dataset sample I mentioned here. So here use some of the method like LSTM, traditional ML. So the gap was some researchers use small dataset and some researchers efficiency is very low. So in this case, my research is focuses on the how I can improve the accuracy of the model and how I can integrate the transformer model for NLP work. So moving on. So here is the methodology I use for my paper. So actually here I mentioned that I collected data from 3 sources, but here I mentioned like Facebook. So the raw data set I collected, after that I pre-process the data and I do divided data in some cross-validation. So cross-validation helped me for better analysis. For after cross-validation, I do embedding to text to vectorize, what to vectorize, and for basic machine learning model and for encoder layer for transformer model. So here I use machine learning model like NIFS, decision tree, and the forest, and deep learning neural network for Roberta, exam Roberta, BERT. This type was, you know well that BERT is very popular for NLP work. Here I use the BERT and the extension of BERT like exam. But so this is a pre-trained model I use for these cases. And after that, all of the model I find the accuracies. So moving on. So here I analyze the result, what I get from these applying these models. So like need biases, I get 69%. It's very low, and precision is very low as well. And decision tree, random forest, MLP, embedded, I applied all of this model. And finally, the highest accuracy get from Roberta, excellent Roberta. This is 78.76%, which is comparatively higher from others model. So and precision recall F1 score both the higher in this case. So moving on, I will discuss the what I find from this case. So here I use it in cross validation. Actually, cross validation helps to find the actual accuracy because cross validation validate data according to fold. So if I have a 20,000 data, then if I divide it tenfold, and then if each fold divided 2,000 data, and after each iteration, it will take 80,000 as a training and 2,000 as a testing, and it will iterate it like how many cases, how many iteration I wanted. So if I wanted 50 times, then 50 times different type of data will go to training and testings. Therefore, I get the maximum accuracy. So here is the 10 cross validation result. So I mentioned in my earlier result, earlier pages that NIP bias, decision tree, random forest, their accuracy is a bit low. But here is the cross validation result is something like it. First validation result is a bit low, but after that, the result is a bit increase. Uh, so this is the result for machine learning model, and this is the result for deep learning model. Like I use multi-layer perceptron and embedded external Roberta. So here you can see that fast of the fold result is very narrow, but after tenfold, the result is very high in these cases. So this is the result for deep learning models. So this is the very few presentation from my cases, and I'm open that the things I get that transformer model can significantly improve for NLP work and compared to the basic machine learning model. This is the finding I get from my paper research. So I'm open for any question.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our respected session chair, sir. Sir, do you have any questions?
This is very well explained. So don't have any questions as such, but can you tell us what is the future scope in this field?
Sir, could you ask me the question again?
What is the future scope of this research?
Oh, that's nice. There are lots of future. Actually, I use 20,000 sample. I would like to extend the sample to 4 to 5 times. I'd like to extend the data set. I used to like to extend more complex data, like not all the simple data, like something like that. Food, আমার ভালো লাগে. There's a complex Bengali word I use in the next data set. So I have a plan to extend my data set. This is a future plan for myself.
Okay. Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, just a minute. I'm just stopping my screen share.
Thank you, sir. Now we will be moving towards next presentation. For the next presentation, I like to call presenter Swati Vasant for the paper title Significance of Music Stimulation for Relaxation from Stress, Anxiety and Depression, a systematic review. I request the presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation. Ma'am, you are not audible to us.
Now, is it visible, sir?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible. Please continue.
Yes. Just tell me once, is it visible now, sir? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yes.
Please
Okay,
continue.
okay. Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, all. My name is Swati Sutar. I'm going to present my topic here, Significance of Music Stimulation for Relaxation from Stress, Anxiety and Depression, a systematic study. So the co-authors are Dr. Barsha Harpre ma'am, Ashwini Shinde ma'am, Siddhant Harpre ma'am. I'm here presenting the topic and research scholar from the Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering, Nivri. So these are the contents of my presentation. So starting with the presentation, the first we are going to learn the background. So why it is required the music therapy. So stress, anxiety and depression are normally nowadays a common mental health issue worldwide. So they are linked to rising the lifestyle changes, pressure at the work and increasing the social demands. So here World Health Organization reports that hundreds of millions of people are affected globally. So this situation reduces the quality of the life, also raises or it may be present the strain in the relationships, families. So when stress, anxiety and depression occur together, it becomes the severe impact on the life, on their life. So this situation need a treatment, better treatment approaches which are accessible for both effective and accessible. So here, for along with the conventional treatment is necessary to cure the physical health. But to cure the mental health, along with the physical health, to cure the mental health, we require the music therapy. So it will be give the better results. So it will be reduces the stress responses, emotional tensions. Okay, and this provides the foundation for the study which I am going to presenting today. Now, this slide, I'm going to say the importance of the non-pharmacological interventions. Actually, when conventional treatment are going with the any person going through the conventional treatment, the medicines are going to be used for that physically treatment. So, although medicines are using, they causes some side effects, and even though they are not working equally well for all the for everyone. So here non-pharmacological approaches like the cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, exercise, art therapy, music therapy, they can be promote holistic recovery, which ensures the active patient participation. Now the importance of music therapy in the neurological and psychological disorder. Basically, music therapy, it gives the relaxation. Everyone knows the music therapy is a safe, non-invasive, adaptable, suitable across the patient groups. So when we are going to apply the music therapy to any patients or any person, we require a guided or trained professionals. So they supports emotional regulation, social connections, cognitive functions, because this music activates the brain regions which are linked with the memory, emotion, and mood control. So the researchers or studies shows that it reduces in the cortisol, stress, anxiety, and depression symptoms. Now, there are the music approaches. There are two types of major music approaches, like the active music therapy as well as the receptive music therapy. Active music therapy is the engagement of the participants, like singing the song, or writing a song. Then improvisation, instrument playing. They build the confidence in the persons. While receptive music means we are going to listen a particular calm music promote the relaxation, emotional releases. And there is one blended approaches which combines these two music therapies depending on the patient's needs and the therapeutic goals. Now this is the therapeutic this is shows the therapeutic framework for the music therapy. So it starts with the initiation of music therapy. So for this we require a professional trainer to ensure the ethical and evidence based practices. So the trainer can be create a specific interventions, music interventions which are required for the patient need, and they can be cover up the four therapeutic goals, like the physical needs, emotional needs, cognitive, and social needs. So physical needs, it involves the pain reductions, relaxations. Then emotional needs, they comes under the stress relief, then mood regulation, emotional relaxation. While cognitive need focuses on the attentions, memories, and social needs, they emphasizes on the communication, social interactions. So after applying the music therapy, all these by using these therapeutic goals, we need to evaluate the effectiveness. So effectiveness, after applying the music therapy, we can get the patient's emotional release, personal growth, along with seeking the security, as well as they are feeling the improvement in emotional well-being, self-awareness. Now, the music therapy for the stress relief. So, stress relief is nothing but it is a body's reactions to a pressure or the demand which requires the quick attention or immediate attention. So, patient should be in the fight or move away response which increases the heart rate or cortisol. So, when music therapy we are going to apply on these patients, they relaxation they include the relaxation by synchronizing the rhythm with their breathing. So researchers studies says that there will be reduced in the anxiety, blood pressure, and improved mood across the populations. So these results we are going to be validated by using the different scales like the PSS, Pursues Stress Scale, then Train Anxiety Inventory, Beck Depression Inventory, and DAS Scale. So music therapy is a very simple, cost-effective, and evidence-based approaches for the stress reduction in clinical as well as everyday settings. Now, this diagram shows there is an interaction between the therapist and patient, as well as there are the two types of music therapy. So first one is the active music therapy. As I said earlier, active music therapy, it involves the creating music, songwriting, improvisation, playing the instruments, singing. So it enhances the creativity, social skills, and self-expressions among the patients. They can be feeling rewarded and empowered. While the receptive music therapy, it involves the listening to a calm music which feels the patient relax or stress relief. So again, there is a third category, that is a blended music type, in which active as well as receptive, which we are going to be applied depending on the patient need. Now, the musical therapy for the stress relief, some study has been gone across the population, which the university study students before the exam, corporate employees, surgical patients, cancer patients during the chemotherapy. So, applying the receptive time music therapy or group music therapy, there will be the key outcomes, that is the reduced stress, anxiety, reduce the cortisol level, reduce the then it improves the emotional well-being. Then music therapy for the anxiety management. So anxiety means what? There is a persistent feeling of the fear or worry. Without there is any immediate action required, still they continuously feeling the worry or fear. So for that we are applying the music so which can be regulate the arousal, it guiding the attention and improving the emotional regulations. Also they can be reduces the low also we are applying the receptive listening, which can be improves the relaxation as well as the active methods which can be build the confidence into the patients. Now there are the different databases are used for the study, like the Modma database, Deep database, Seed database, Dreamer, and Kaggle databases are openly available for useful to check whether they are the person along with the stress, anxiety, depressions. Along with this database, we are going to use the physiological signals. Then this is the comparative analysis of the survey, that the stress minimization factor analysis. As shown in the diagram, the red dotted line showing the clinical settings threshold, that is the 40. But after applying the music therapy by the several settings, it can be improved up to 55%. Now anxiety reduction, the by clinical setting the threshold set up to 4 point, and after applying the music therapy session by session, it will be improved up to a 5.2. Now, the mental depression comparison on the sessions. Depression is nothing but it is a prolonged state of the stress or losing interest that affects daily life. So, this depression in the figure, the clinical settings threshold level has been shown 3. While after applying the music therapy, it will be improved up to 4.42 percentage, which shows the
Sorry
uh,
to interrupt, ma'am, but you
yes.
have 1 minute to conclude.
Okay, sir. Yeah. This is the cortisol factor which is related to the stress hormone. It can be also significantly reduced up to a 1.1, which is the greater than the zero point 0.8, which is setting by the clinical threshold. Okay. Now, this is the summary of study which says that after applying the music therapy, it may be active, receptive, or combined with the CBT mindfulness, there will be the it shows the reduction in the stress, anxiety, and depression. And the evidence, the future challenges and future direction says that the future work should be focuses on the large scale trials, AI driven personalization for long term effectiveness, because long term effectiveness. And these are the conclusion. As I said earlier, the anxiety score, it can be decreased up to 5.6 points. Stress also reduced up to a 55 percentage. Depressive systems marked by the 4.2, and while the cortisol level may decline up to 1.1 microgram per deciliter. So by using this music therapy, we can get improvised results. These are my references. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I request our respected session chair, sir. Sir, do you have any questions?
Yeah, no question for this. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now we will moving towards our next presentation. For the next presentation, I like to call presenter Pritesh Parmar for the paper title Strategic Management in Industrial Construction Project. I request the presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Please continue.
Sir, is there my screen is visible?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible. Please continue.
Okay. My name is Parmar Pritesh Praveen Bhai. I am currently MTech student at Parol University, Vadodara, Gujarat. My guide name is Assistant Professor Hirar Patel. My topic name is Strategic Management in Industrial Construction Project. And here is the introduction. First one is strategic management in industrial construction project involves the formulation, implementation, and evolution of long-term goals and initiatives that align with both specific objectives and broader organizational missions. At this core, strategic management in this sector focuses on identifying key success factors, allocating resources effectively, and adapting to dynamic project environments. Moreover, the strategic approach facilitates informed decision making at all stages of project lifecycle, from planning, design, and execution at post construction evolution. My aim is to the primary aim of this topic is to analyze and evaluate the role of strategic management in enhancing efficiency, cost effectiveness, and risk management of industrial construction projects. The study seeks to understand how strategic planning, implementation, and evaluation contribute to achieving project success, sustainability, and organizational competitiveness within its construction industry. Research objectives are to understand to concept the signification of strategic management in context of industrial construction project, to examine the relationship between strategic planning and project performance, focusing on time, cost, and quality parameters, to propose recommendations and best practices for integrating strategic management principles in future industrial construction projects. Here is two effective delivery techniques for this comprehensive planning and project delivery methods. In comprehensive planning, we can clear objectives and its scopes, detailed project plan, resource management, and time management. For a project delivery method, we can use design, build, build, integrated project delivery, construction project multi-prime. Here's some of example in which we can use construction project management. In a new manufacturing facilities like strategic planning, risk management, stakeholder engagement, resource optimization, and technology adoption. In plant around, we can use detailed shutdown planning, just-in-time delivery, safety management, schedule optimization, performance monitoring. In greenfield refinery project, early contractor involvement, modular construction, integrated project delivery, sustainable construction practices. Here's some of literature review which I have use for this review paper. Strategic management practices 2001-4, strategic management in construction industry, strategic change for growth 2021, construction project management in India 2008, education and practice in India 2008, change in management 2025. Here's the methodology: research design, data collection, sampling method, data analysis, reliability and its validation, and ethical considerations. Here are some of key findings and discussions. Number one, alignment between corporate strategy and project level execution is critical in industrial construction project due to high capital investment and complexity. Literature highlights that early risk identification and mitigation strategies significantly reduce the project overruns and disputes. Its decentralized decision authority enables faster responses on site level challenges. Literature confirms that digital strategies improve productivity, transparency, and communication. Number five is industrial construction benefits from integrated supply chain planning rather than traditional transactional procurement. Some of limitations are there is a lack of quantitative evidence linking strategic practices to project performance. Strategic practices may vary significantly across the sectors which review could not analyze in depth. This limits applicability of findings to fast evolving industrial construction environment. Future research is to study should conduct a large scale surveys and case study, validate strategic management framework, development of quantifiable models linking strategic planning, risk management, and leadership to cost, time, quality, and safety performance. More research need to leadership style, organizational culture, and skill development in industrial construction projects. Here's the conclusion. This review confirms that the strategic management is no longer optional in industrial construction projects. Projects just align planning, risk leadership, technology, and stakeholder strategies consistency perform better in terms of cost, time, quality, and safety. The shift towards digital and proactive strategic approaches further strengthen competitiveness. However, effective implementation depends on strong alignment between corporate strategy and on-site execution. Thank you everyone and Smartphone conference.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our respected session chair, sir. Sir, do you have any questions?
No, this is done very well. So future scope are also identified. So have you done any kind of validation this research?
No, sir. Currently, I haven't any validations, but I have studied through current ongoing projects. Somewhere around Vadodara, in pharmaceutical plants. It's nearly in Halol, formulation plant.
Okay. Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Now we'll be proceeding towards the next presentation. For the next presentation, I'd like to call presenter Sharanya for the paper title Hydronet Automated Water Pollution Control. I request the presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation. I request the presenter to kindly proceed with their presentation. Okay, moving forward. Now we'll be moving forward towards the closing remark. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for your support during the 10th version and all the previous 9th version of the conference. We'll be happy to have you in 11th version in 2027. All the presenters will be getting digital certificates through email within 2 working days. The publication will be live within 7 to 8 months. We request you to kindly cooperate with the team of SmartCom 2026. I also thank our respected session chair, Sir Dr. Akhilesh Kumar Sharma, for chairing the session. Sir, this is a token of love and appreciation from the team of SmartCom 2026 and Global Knowledge Search Foundation and partners.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable time.
Thank you. And looking forward for more some collaborative events and wonderful events. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request everyone to kindly turn on their cameras for a quick virtual snapshot of the conference. I kindly request everyone to kindly turn on their cameras for a quick virtual snapshot. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Okay, bye. Good night.
Bye, sir. Thank you.